In this video, I show you how we build product ecosystem that we deploy for 6-7 figure companies. Recently, I had a workshop at Network School in Malaysia, which is a very exciting place, and we have a lot of founders and creators here. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how we're building product ecosystems for digital businesses. Enjoy. How I help a lot of businesses, all the way from like solopreneurs to 8-figure companies, and why they come to me when it comes to monetizing their content, or how to build like social media engines that can be monetized. My philosophy with offers is always start with high ticket, and I have this high ticket thesis offer, which basically what is the most value that you're capable of providing to your proper audience or to your ideal client. So first of all, I want to talk about the product ecosystem that I usually use to explain and set up for our clients. And the product ecosystem is basically a big ass funnel that you want to understand on how to sell just digital products. The first layer of this big ass funnel is get attention. How do we get attention? There are 4 main ways to get attention. One is, well, all of them is basically involving content, right? We can have organic content, we can have ads, advertisements, we can have affiliates, and then we can have partnerships. Second layer is we want to convert this attention onto our email. Or since we have a lot of crypto people here, this can be the Telegram groups, this can be like the first step where they actually come closer to you, where not just seeing your content or watching your ads, but they actually make some kind of steps forward or towards you, right? So how do we get emails? Basically, we have to provide value, and the way we do that is basically we set up micro products or micro values, like these are the guides, these are the webinars. Every single one of this box is an art by itself. So if you guys need help with anything that I'm putting onto the board, I have the entire frameworks and step-by-step processes for each and every single one of these. You can set up master classes, you can sell these $1 products, the guides. The point of this layer is to solve the first problem that your audience will have after getting in touch with you, right? So let me give you an example. If somebody's a fitness trainer, obviously they're not going to come to you with like setting up their biomarkers. The first thing is gonna be like, hey, I have a back pain. So we're gonna have a guide on like, hey, if you're a 9-to-5 worker or you're sitting in front of your laptop all day, you don't have to be a 9-to-5 worker to do that, you might develop the pain, right? So the guide and the webinar is gonna be pretty much providing the first step of value to you. And that's how they start getting trust towards you. Now, other than that, this is also where we basically provide the free stuff. We can call them lead magnets, and you will see a lot of these. I mean, you probably see a lot of these on Instagram, right? DM me the word XYZ and I'll send it to you, right? It's like, oh, if you have back pain because you're in front of your computer all day, I've developed or I put together a guide for you that's going to help you with 5 minutes of your day to actually, with some exercise, get rid of that back pain. All you need to do is DM me the word back pain, and then on Instagram, the automation, the managed automation will deliver the guide to you. What really happens there is the way we usually set up these managed automations, it's when you DM the word back pain, I'm not only sending you the guide, but I'm going to start engaging you in a conversation and ask for your email automatically with the managed automation. A lot of creators, I mean, there are 2 ways to do that, right? You want to nurture and then you're not asking for emails, but if you want to get the email, then you actually have to set that up in the automation. So in the DMs, you're asking for the emails. And then you basically deliver any of these for your audience. Now, what happens once you get their email? Obviously, you have to send them a lot of emails. Now, still a lot of you are not doing it, even though we know we should be doing it. How do we send emails? I recommend, since not everybody has a lot of time to, send daily emails or weekly emails, what we usually recommend is as soon as you get their emails, whatever CRM you're using, you provide them with a tag, depending on how they signed up. And you're going to go ahead and set up a minimum 5 to 10 days automated welcome email series. Basically, what that does is that even though they might have been an impulse buyer because they just saw your ad, your organic content, you might have gone viral, your video might have been shared, but they don't really know who you are. So this is where we start developing that initial relationship where you go into it 5-10 days of emails. When do we use $1 offer or a free offer? Basically, I have friends and clients also that we are testing, whether it's a free or whether it's a $1. As soon as they have to put their credit card information and pay even $1, they're a lot more committed than anyone else. They're just gonna go and get the free stuff because they're curious. right? So for example, even if you're running a webinar, you might not be running a free webinar, but a $10 webinar. That $10 webinar is not going to be priced $10 because you want to make money. Probably your ad costs are not even going to be covered from the $10. But psychologically, what you're doing is getting them committed on an extra layer. So depending on how big, do you want to get mass email addresses? Run the free one. Do you want a higher close rate at the end of your funnel? Get a cheap product in the front of it. Okay? So what we usually do with these is and again, it's not what eventually you're gonna do, but to get started is get a 5 to 10 day automatic welcome email sequence to make sure that you bring them closer to you. That's where you introduce what you stand for, you introduce yourself, you introduce your offer, you're going to introduce how you're solving the problem for them, right? And then later on, what I recommend and what we do, and we see big success with that, is this 5 to 10 day welcome email series can extend to as long as a year. I know creators that actually have welcome email series go for a year. And the way you do that is once you have your welcome email series done, basically you put them on a weekly newsletter packed with value. Now, the weekly newsletter means obviously that you send it every week. Whether you send 1, 2, or 3, it's up to your capacity. The more the better, and you want to make sure that it's valuable because people will fall off. You kind of want that because you don't want a big email list with people that are not active and they're not actually buying from you, but you want to make sure that you provide a lot of value for them. And then you will see how they perform. You will see which one had a higher open rate, which one resonated more. If you put a CTA into your email hey, reply if this resonated, or hey, reply if you have the same problem, or hey, reply if you found a solution, you will see what's the reply rate, you will see what's the click-through rate in the email, you will see what's the open rate, and so on. Now, obviously the first measure is the open rate. That means your subject line is really good. Now, once you statistically have emails that have been opened, good click-throughs, or a lot of people interacted with it, you can actually put that onto your welcome email sequence because it will actually perform good. So throughout, psychologically, when you're welcoming them to your ecosystem, you will have people more likely to stay on that email list and get interested in what you do. And then basically, if these are weekly email sequences, that means that this is a month and this is a month. And then you can go ahead and run basically offers throughout the months with the next layer of the funnel, which is convert them into customers, right? So far, they are most likely came in for free or a very low value, but they're not yet dedicated to your brand with their wallets. And that's what you want to do, right? So at this, the goal here is to convert to customer. Now, how do we convert them to customers? Obviously, we have to have the initial products ready, but this is still not your main product, not your main high-ticket product. First, these are basically your courses. These are your $7 to $39 quick offers, all the way up to the $99 to $499 offers, basically, right? These are the low ticket. Basically the low ticket, or we can also call them the front end offers. For example, your monthly subscription, your community, something to get them step over that initial hurdle of just watching your content and reading your emails. And once you will see a pattern here, at every stage, we're going to first convert, and at this point, once we start converted, that means that basically they have received an amount of value from you that they've at this point already paid for. You already have a connection with them, right? And at that point, the next stage is going to be upsell, right? From this point on, our entire strategy is to increase the LTV, which is the lifetime value of a customer, right? They're already in your garden. How can we sell more for them? How can we provide more value for them? How can we make sure that they actually get to their goals? This is what my company basically specializes in, is creating the initial high ticket offers. When I say high ticket offer, it's starting at $5,000 and up. I've had conversations where people told me, oh, that's my low ticket. That's completely okay. This is going from content creator, content business, and actually starting a company, right? Now, if you're an enterprise service provider, your high ticket will be $300,000, $500,000, $1 million annual contract where you actually go and service them, month by month. If you're a creator, let's say you're a consultant and coach, you're a marketing agency owner, you're very likely going to get started with these levels until you raise your confidence, your mindset, and the value that you're providing to the level where you can charge more. Like, I love my story. Like, not so long ago, a couple of years ago, I was charging $250 to $300 per month for consulting in Hungary, because my mindset wasn't like, I had to work on myself a lot, and that's what usually most of you have to do, to believe and to see, to kind of stack that value in your favor, to see what your knowledge is capable of delivering, and what results you can actually deliver to your clients. Now my hourly rate is $500, so that was a pretty big jump, and it wasn't like one jump. It was an eventual, like a raise of prices, creating a lot of documents, creating a lot of systems, having the proof, getting the results, and then the more results you get to your clients, I will talk about that, the more you can use that on the top of the funnel as proof in your favor, in your business, that whatever you're doing is working, right? Okay, so what do I mean by high ticket? When I talk about high ticket in the digital info space or the info space, it's basically these are either programs or services. Now, what are high ticket programs? High ticket programs are basically you're providing one very niche solution to one very niche down specific audience that has a burning problem that you're 100% going to, or 99% going to solve for them, right? For example, I help content creators monetize their audience, or I help you use content to get leads, right? It's the same thing, depends on which side you're looking at from. Like, if you already have content, like if you already have a big audience, but you don't know how to make money, which is most creators, because they are like very artistic, very creative, they're not into business. I'm a business guy. Then they're gonna come to me and ask like, hey Roland, how do I monetize? What do I do, right? But if they're founders, they already have a good product, they have like a conviction in what they're doing, they're gonna come to me and be like, hey Roland, how the hell do I sell this? Like, what do I do? Do I have to like sing on TikTok or what? Obviously, they don't have the content strategy, right? So it's the same thing depending on where I'm looking at. Let's go back to the fitness influence or fitness content creator or coach example. Currently, I'm working with coaches as well as clients that are starting out with like, hey, I do $99 and I set up your nutrition meal plan for you. It's like, cool, okay, we see where that kind of is on the product ecosystem level. But I also know coaches that charge $5,000 to $7,000 in a community, and they have hundreds of people coming in. And obviously, what's the difference between them? Well, it's not only that one of them has bigger balls and a better mindset, but probably has more proof in a very niche down audience. For example, if one of the creators is going to be like, hey, I will help you lose weight, cool. It's a coach that's going to help me lose weight. If you go in more of a sub niche, like, hey, I help you lose weight if you're in IT, because I know specific problems that IT people are going through, then you can kind of charge a bit more because you're a lot more specific, and the audience will understand that, this guy's talking to me. If you're talking to the CEO of an IT company that actually is stressed, so we'll have different kind of biomarkers. Sits a lot in front of the computer, so the love handles will be a bit more heavy. The back pain, a bit more aching or harder. And you're going to communicate that, hey, I specialize in getting IT CEOs down to 20% and below body fat within 3 months of working together. If you're XYZ, anybody that sees that and is within that ideal client profile will know that, okay, this is the guy I want. And at that level, you're not going to question, because you see all the other CEOs that he has helped that went through the same thing achieve that result. It's probably the same process that he takes them through, but one is a lot more detailed and the other one is a bit more vague, right? One has value stacked in favor of him. The other one is like, kind of like, yeah, we will do this and that, like it's not as specific. So when we're designing high ticket programs, we always start with the burning problem. What is it that your ideal audience always has, right? And then we pretty much reverse engineer that, okay, if that's the problem and this is the exact result they want to get to, all you have to do is help them get to that result, right? Now, how do we do that? And that's something that I'm very, very, first of all, passionate about, probably you can tell. And second of all is I love reverse engineering, solving these problems. Now, if there is a problem that your client has, and you can literally ask like, hey, what would be the best way to help you? What is it that you want to see at the end of month 3 or month 6 when you're working with me? That your client or potential client is literally going to tell you what it is. So when you're starting out, you can understand what's the biggest value you can deliver them and what's the best result you can deliver them while you're working together. Then you flip it on the head and reverse engineer it basically, right? For example, I have a client, he is a 8-figure Amazon FBA seller. That means that he uses Amazon FBA and he's reselling items on Amazon. And he finds really cool or not cool, whatever, gadgets and stuff in the US and has a systems, processes, softwares to find and scan items and go like, hey, this actually sells on Amazon for a higher price. He buys them, puts it on Amazon, and then Amazon sell it for him. He figured out a system to do this, and I was like, can you replicate this? He was like, of course, this is what I do. I was like, cool, what do I have to do? Well, and then he starts telling me, I was like, man, do you not see what you're, like, people don't realize how valuable their knowledge usually is. Most of you usually don't realize how valuable your knowledge is or are because you live in the bubble. You live in the bubble of your industry. You live in the crypto space or the coaching space or the finance space or the LinkedIn space, and you're like, oh, everybody knows that. It's easy, right? Well, it's easy for you because you're surrounded by it. It's easy for me to talk about $10,000 months because that's what I do and I understand that. Most people look at me like, whoa, man, that's like, yeah, we get it. But it's like easy for you to create content because you're a content creator. Yet we're here. We have like a lot of people come to the content club because not easy for everyone, right? So how do we get that end result and kind of guarantee it for them that we're gonna get you there? And since you're a service provider, since you're a creator or an expert at what you do, you will know how to guide them because every day, all day, every day, you think about solving the problems of your clients, right? Now, what I was trying to get to here is when we're designing high-ticket programs, we always create a client journey. And this is kind of like the systemizing of the process of delivering or fulfilling a high-ticket program. So for example, my program is a 3-month program where we're going to start with crafting the offer for my clients. When we're crafting the offer, I go back and forth and my team goes back and forth with that given expert or creator or founder on the specific knowledge. I have the frameworks where I take them, of which I take them through, and I'm going to get all that knowledge out of their head and then structure it in a very, very easy spreadsheet where we're going to be like, okay, this is all the knowledge you have. What are the steps I have to take if I want to get started? He was like, well, you need to be setting up this and that. Cool. So step 1, like you're literally reverse engineering what is it that your client has to go through in order to get to the result that you're providing. And then, okay, I set up all the software. Now what do? He's going to tell me the second one, the third one, the fourth one. And then, lo and behold, you're going to go through an entire program of steps, structured, systemized steps that your client has to do in order to achieve the results. And then we go ahead and basically design every single step of the client journey. And pretty much I tell them that, okay, now go record it, now go create the documents, now go create the deliverables, and deliverables are the documents, right? So for example, I'm working with a consultant here at Network School, and they're helping enterprises and 7-figure businesses implement AI systems and MCP servers and basically connect databases to CRM systems in order to help the CEO and everyone in their company to understand what are the tasks of their departments on Claude. It's quite simple if you know MCP and LLM and Claude stuff, but yet most people will have no idea how to set it up. What's the first step? Well, understand what LLM is, what is ChatGPT and Claude. Cool, now you got that. Okay, what is an MCP server? Cool, understood that. Okay, what CRM software are you using? Are you using Notion, ClickUp, Go High Level? Are you using Monday.com? Cool, okay, then we hook that up. Okay, now that it's all hooked up, okay, do you have structured data? Oh no, how do I structure my data? Well, this is the worksheet how you want to structure your data in your given industry. Cool. Come back when you structure the data. Okay, now that you understand LLMs, now you understand data, now you understand the CRMs, now we can all hook it together so they actually work together. Oh, cool, wow, magic, cool. What's the next step? Okay, let's create a dashboard for your company so you can use the whole system that we just set up. It's not rocket science, but most people will spend days, weeks, months on YouTube trying to figure it out without having that mentor. So most of the time, what you're really selling is your confidence in your client's results that they don't have in themselves. And once you can have that, as proof, that's basically how you succeed and make your clients succeed in that. All right, that's step one, right? Like we figure out a high ticket program in case it's coaching. If it's a service, what I just explained pretty much was a service, right? It's like, that's how you provide a service. Next step is gonna be, and this is how we're gonna get to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50K months, is that you understand what your client needs, so you will start creating your internal SOPs on what your team has to do in order to deliver those processes. Everybody understands what you're actually doing, because most of the time the reality is that your colleagues will have no idea what your company is even doing. All will they think about is like, hey, I come in and I'll do my work and go out. It's like, what's the vision, right? You're providing a vision, you SOP it up basically, you create those systems and operating procedures, and then it's gonna be crystal clear for everyone. I'm not gonna go into like swim lane methods and different kind of mind mapping on how we do, how we're systemizing service businesses, but if you guys are interested, just you can find me after the workshop. Now, once we have the offer, this is the fulfillment side of the offer, right? We have another layer, which is the communication side of the offer, right? Now, the communication side of the offer is what makes it sexy. The reason why you will want to work with me is not because I have all these steps. The reason why you showed up is because I told you that you can make $10,000 a month using content and systems, right? So how you package that offer is basically the next step, and a lot of people mess that up as well. I'm gonna simplify this, but basically an offer always have a core element that provides you with the big results, and has a lot of bonus elements, which is like kind of like the you know the cereal, and the cereal has a little toy in there. The kid doesn't want to buy the cereal but the toy. The core thing is the cereal, yet it has a bonus which is gonna make you emotionally want to buy that thing. The same thing happens with high ticket offers and service businesses. It's like, oh yeah, I come in and implement this service for you. Yeah, the other company does that too. Oh yeah, but I give you an entire playbook for the next 5 years that's going to help you hire the right people, that's going to give you the entire handbook, that's going to all included in the service. Oh wow, you do that? Really cool. Let's work together. Same thing that I've given you, except I've packaged it up in an offer. I used a different kind of communication method that basically solves, the little kid in you when it comes to you wanting to solve your problem. So once you got that systemized offer, whether it's a service, whether it's the knowledge, you're gonna pack it up in your offer, right? The next thing we do with the clients is we're getting the systems up and running, basically, right? Like, how do you actually fulfill all of that? How do you get leads? How do you make sure that when the leads come in, your sales team follows up with them? How do you track? How do you even, what does your, sales guys, closers, appointment setters have to do? What scripts you're using? How do you train them? How do you hire them? How do you find them? How do you pay them? What happens if they don't show up? There are quite a lot of stuff in there. So then we set up the system, which is basically creating a digital ecosystem that I call, which I'm going to continue with once I finish up this funnel, but that's high ticket, right? So now pretty much we're clear on why it's high ticket and how we can start selling it. Now, how do we increase the LTV and how do we move down the funnel? What's next? Like if this is already high ticket, basically the next step is going to be how do we make it more premium? If you're a fitness coach, then I might work with you with you in my high ticket community where you have your accountability partner, you have your nutrition guidelines every week. We're gonna have coaching calls. But the next one that I also run, let's say a 10K offer where you come to fly out to Bali with me, and then we're gonna spend 1 or 2 weeks together, right? Now suddenly you got a lot more value in a smaller amount of time. This could be a conference. This could be, my team goes and actually implements it for your company. This depending on what you guys are doing. If you're a LinkedIn copywriter, it can be that, okay, here I'll teach you everything. You can come to me and I'll do it with you. We call it done with you. But here, my team goes to you. I'll set it up within three days. You'll have everything up and running, and it's gonna be completely done for you, right? So the proximity and the speed, that's what you play with as you're increasing your lifetime value with the customer. If you're creating drone shots, you can come to me and I'll help you how to shoot amazing videos of your building on the construction. But if you want to get it done, my team's going to go out, and it's not only going to shoot, edit, and deliver it for you, but I'm going to connect you with the local authorities, with the legal services to ensure that actually based on our videos, you're going to get your whatever sign that you need for the contract, right? It's like, oh, what you're actually doing me is you save me time, energy, or money. As long as you can save your clients more time, energy, or money, they're gonna be willing to pay more. And then basically the very bottom usually is the one-on-one. It's when, sure, I can work with Tony Robbins' team, but how much do I have to pay to work with the man? And people are a lot more willing to pay a lot more to work one-on-one, and he's gonna charge you $1 million a day, because he can, right? But every other level, he has an entire product ecosystem to make sure that you go down on that funnel, okay? So this is basically the digital product ecosystem that we use. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, or send it to your friends, because I'm guaranteeing you that it's gonna be helpful for them. I have a lot more workshops like this coming, so make sure to check out my channel in the future as well. Take care, and thanks for watching.